again. I'm Guy Joseph, President of Lifespan Seminar, and I will be giving this workshop with the Program Director of Lifespan Seminar, Teresa Mishler. Good morning. Welcome. The unique research of Lifespan Seminar is that we can sense how long we can live. By understanding the energy in our body, we can also learn how to use this energy in the best possible manner. On a personal note, I'm standing here today because of two near-death experiences I've had in my life. Once in a motorcycle accident and once in a medical emergency. I underwent a lower back surgery because a fragment of my vertebra had broken off and lodged itself into the nerve canal. So each time I attempted to move any of my limbs, this would make that broken chip touch on the nerves in the nerve canal and shoot pain into my brain to the point where I was practically immobilized. I couldn't stand or sit without debilitating pain. I understood at that point what it meant to be absolutely incapacitated. Coming this close to death prompted me to ask myself what was the biggest understanding I had at that point about myself and life. The clear answer that came back was that I had known how long I could live since 1992. Lifespan Seminar, and I've dedicated my life since then to researching scientific, spiritual, behavioral, and evolutionary aspects of the awareness that we can sense how long we can live and the practical applications of this insight in daily circumstances. Lifespan Seminar received the Best of Beverly Hills Award in Health and Wellness Workshops for the last 3 years in a row, and the 2014 Los Angeles Businesses Award in the Life Coach category. Now, of course, this 45-minute session is not long enough to go into depth into the science, evolution, and biology of our innate capacity to sense how long we can live, so we'll dedicate this workshop to practical tools of stress management, good nutrition, sufficient rest, and active lifestyle that help us to live our longest and healthiest lives. To locate in ourselves the awareness of how long we can live, we first go out into the universe at large and then bring that large universe back into our own body. So who are we and where do we come from? We happen to be living at a remarkable period in time. The last century has given us more scientific discoveries than the entire preceding human history before. Due to the development of long-range space telescopes, we are the first generation to know the geometry, material composition, and evolution of the cosmos. Emerging scientific fields of new cosmology, neuroplasticity, superstring theory, and epigenetics are presenting a view of humankind as the eyes, ears, and mind of the cosmos, with far more to discover in the world inside us than in the universe at large. So where do we come from? New cosmology shows that approximately 13.8 billion years ago, what we call the Big Bang occurred, and it resulted in the release of matter and energy. What was before the Big Bang, we don't currently know for certain. There are certain assumptions, such as serial universes or multiple dimensions. At about 4.6 billion years ago, planet Earth forms from the stellar ash that had been released during the Big Bang. Now, we humans are made of the same ingredients of which the planets and stars are made. Every atom in our body comes from planet Earth, which in turn is made of the same energy and matter as everything else in the cosmos. At about 3.5 billion years ago, first living microbes appear on Earth, and at about 200 million years ago, mammals arise. At about 65 million years ago, primates emerge. And at about 7 million years ago, bipedalism evolves. Now, at about 400,000 years ago, controlled use of fire by these upright walking hominids was already quite common, which was a major development because it meant the ability to master the environment and inhabit areas that were previously inhospitable to life. Now, let's jump forward all the way to the year 1543 of Common Era, when Nicolaus Copernicus publishes his book on the revolutions of the celestial spheres, which introduces the awareness that Earth is not at the center of the universe, but revolves around the sun, and triggers the scientific revolution and the Enlightenment. So admittedly, this was a very brief, focused overview of the evolution of the cosmos.
Nicely done.
Which brings us to this moment at this beautiful hall. So what are we and where do we come from? We are the offspring of supernovas, of exploding stars. The carbon in our body could not be created in the universe by any other means than through the collapse and explosion of a star. We are a further incarnation of a star. We are embedded in this evolutionary process. Just as a single drop in an ocean contains in the character of the entire ocean, so each of us contains in our genes the entire information of existence. In our cells, everything exists as a potential. So where might we go from here? Since we have not yet reached the end of time, so we have not yet reached the end of our potential. We simply don't know what it is because existence means constant discovery, mutation, and progress. The more we understand the world at large, the more we understand the world inside us and vice versa in a mutually dependent evolution of scientific and spiritual awareness. Now, to the biological foundation of our ability to sense how long we can live rests in the genetic fact that every living organism has an optimal duration of existence. This is the maximum amount of years that they can live under the most favorable conditions. For example, whales who on average live about 80 years and shrews who on average live 2 both have approximately 1.5 billion heartbeats in a lifetime. They operate at different frequencies. Unlike wild creatures who are blind instruments of the DNA, we humans have the capacity to understand the amount of energy in our body and use this energy in the manner that we choose. Humans, on average, have about 2.5 billion heartbeats in a lifetime, and the longest verified human life on record is 122.4 years. The human body is a well-designed machine for living, with built-in mechanisms for self-healing and self-correction, provided we don't harm it with bad habits. The body contains a natural state called homeostasis, or self-regulation, where it maintains biological processes, hormonal stability, and internal temperature within an optimal range. The body intuitively knows how to take care of itself. For example, we sweat to cool off during the hot summer days, and we shiver to produce heat during the cold winter months. So the answer to the natural question of how do you know how long you could live is the body knows. Just like we know when we're hungry, tired, or cold, when we develop a higher awareness of our physical and mental states, we gain access to our body's intuition, which is the age-old wisdom inherent in our genes. Now, the latest research of Harvard neuroscientist Rudolf Tanzi indicates that intuition is the next big part of the brain that is evolving as it relates to the mind. So first, it was the instinctive brain, followed by the emotional brain, followed by the intellectual brain, and next is the intuitive brain. In this understanding, intuition is not just a reflexive behavior like animals have, but the intuition is a culmination of all our qualities of awareness, vision, self-knowledge, and knowledge of the world, mind, body, and soul. So you are a culmination of everything that came before you. And in you, there is a promise of everything that will come. Now, to locate in ourselves the sense, our optimal duration, and then to realize it in our lives, we use body consciousness techniques and self-management skills. Body consciousness techniques of meditation, pressure points, ring muscles, and touch triggers help us understand how this complex and intelligent system operates. And self-management skills of breathing, good nutrition, sufficient rest, and active lifestyle help us to create the conditions where we can live our longest and healthiest lives. Again, this 45-minute session is, of course, not long enough to go in detail into each one of those at length. So we want you to leave here with the basic tools of stress management, good nutrition, sufficient rest, and active lifestyle that you can use in your daily lives. And to start on the first one of stress management, again, I'll invite to the stage Teresa Mishler.
Thank you, guys. Hi, everyone. Before we begin, I'd just like to give you a quick background. At the age of 22, I found myself in the worst shape of my life. I was overweight, tired all the time, and inactive. So I knew that it was time for a change. So I hired a personal trainer, and in 5 months, I lost 50 pounds. After I lost the weight, I thought that everything would be fantastic. But the truth is, once you lose excess weight, there's nowhere to hide. All the demons that we were shoving away with food just become more visible. So over the next few years, I would replace food with another addiction, such as extreme exercise, alcohol, and sex. It wasn't until 2007, when I attended a yoga and meditation class, did I discover that my peace and well-being comes from within, not the outside world. So that class was the beginning of a lifelong journey of discovering my full potential and realizing my power. And because I've discovered these profound truths, I've dedicated my life to helping others discover their full potential and that their peace and well-being comes from within. And now, let's talk about pressure points. Your body is a repository of everything you experience. Elation, sadness, frustration, fear, exhaustion, jubilation, and stress. Everything that happens in the mind has a correlate in the body. And this storing of mental information in the body is done both consciously and subconsciously. The psyche protects itself by suppressing unpleasant episodes in the subconscious. And these unwelcome incidents may resurface when a similar event triggers that very memory. What pressure points do is they release the tension that your body has accumulated throughout the day, and this leads to a free flow of energy in the body and enables the body to regain its balance. So now, let's do a pressure point exercise. Using your thumb, forefinger, and middle finger, gently begin applying pressure on your lower forehead just above the eyebrows. Now rub the middle of your forehead in a circular motion and breathe into the area where your fingers touch the skin. This may result in deep sighs, and this is a sign that your body is releasing stress and readjusting itself. Let's do this for a little bit longer. Just allowing your body to release tension. Next, using just the tip of your forefinger, lightly poke under your earlobe and dip where it meets the jaw and the neck, like this. This little crater is one of the most sensitive spots in the body. It is a direct access to your body's neural system. So do this for a little while, releasing any tension that may be in your body, and pay attention to the reactions generated in your body. It may prompt you to stretch your shoulders, rotate your neck, or exhale, inhale deeply. Lastly, using just your thumb and forefinger, gently apply pressure to the upper inner corners of your eye sockets right below your eyebrows, on either side of your nose bridge, where your nose meets your forehead. There are little dips on either side of your nose bridge, and this is the area where you want to apply light pressure with the tips of your thumb and your forefinger. As you do this, once again, pay attention to reactions generated in your body. Just allow your body to release any tension. We'll wrap this exercise now, and you can do it throughout the day as many times as you like. How do you feel? Good, right? Pressure points are powerful tools in management of stress and the release of tension in our daily lives. They are easy to use anywhere, anytime, sitting at your desk at work, under a lunch break, or a daily commute. Now that we've talked about how to deal with stress, next, let's talk about the importance of breath. Breath is the foundation of our well-being and the true measure of all our mental, physical, and emotional states. Breath is the key to accessing our inner world. When we learn to master our breath, we can be in control in every situation in life. Our daily routines are filled with small and big annoyances and potential causes of anxiety. And when we find ourselves in a tight situation, the natural tendency of the body is to stiffen and breath to become shallow, restricted. These are the hereditary responses of our survival mechanism, the fight or flight instinct. The solution for situations like these is to learn to do the opposite. Breathe deeply and evenly. Now, what you want to carry with you throughout life is a clear understanding that your breath is your personal domain, and no one can enter this private space uninvited. It is your sanctuary and the firm ground on which you can stand, no matter how dangerous the situation may seem. And whatever negative circumstances we encounter, we can always draw inside, center ourselves, and regulate our breath, deep, steady, and free. Here are some helpful mantras that you can keep in your mental toolkit and repeat silently to yourself whenever you face a tight situation. My strength is in my breath. Let's repeat that. My strength is in my breath. When I control my breath, I control my life. Let's repeat that. When I control my breath, I control my life. The oxygen of the whole world is available to me. Let's repeat that. The oxygen of the whole world is available to me. This last idea is especially useful to realize that we're never at a lack for oxygen. There's always plenty of air around us to fill our lungs to full capacity, so we never feel deprived of breath or anxious for space or safety. Now let's do a simple exercise that will help you develop mastery of your breath. And the advantage of this exercise is that it can be done anywhere and any time. Sitting at your desk at work, watching TV, or driving. Now, we're based in LA, and I can tell you this is a great exercise to do during our daily commute and to deal with LA traffic without going nuts. Now let's do it right now in your seat. Just make yourself comfortable and focus on your breath. Make sure it is deep, steady, and free. Now inhale on the count of 5 and exhale without count. Now inhale once more on the count of 5 and exhale without count, and repeat this sequence 3 times. Now inhale without count, and exhale on the count of 5, and repeat this sequence 3 times. Now inhale on the count of 10, and exhale without count, and repeat this sequence 3 times. Now it helps here to use your fingers as visual reminders, so you don't exert yourself mentally while focusing on your breath. So inhale on the count of 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and exhale without count. And repeat the sequence 3 times. Now inhale without count, and exhale on a count of 10, and repeat the sequence 3 times. We will wrap up this exercise. You can do it throughout the day, many times as you like. The huge benefit of this little exercise is that it shows you that you are in control of your breath. The fact that you can pace your breath over a count of 5 and then 10, then later 12 or 15, is a clear sign that you've made your breath a conscious activity that you can manage. It is no longer something that simply happens. It is a deliberate event that you can monitor and regulate in every area of your life. The fact that you can master your breath in the contained environment of this exercise shows that the more you practice these sets, the more you can control your breath in every situation you encounter. Whenever you face a crisis of some kind that threatens to get out of control, you can focus on your breath, because this is something that you can control, and let your breath carry you to safety. Now, what we share with you so far is just the tip of the iceberg. There is no way that you can get all the information about living your longest and healthiest life in this 45-minute session. So we at Lifespan Seminar, we recently compiled a special report called 7 Secrets to Living Your Longest and Healthiest Life. It is an $85 value, but I'd like you to have it for free. So everyone, get your smartphones out now and email your name to, just your name, to info@lifespanseminar.com, and you'll receive this special report at no charge. I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. Was everyone able to do it? Oh. Anybody need time? Questions?
Does it matter if it's in, does it have to be exactly that way, or can it be all lowercase or? Okay, all right.
It can be lowercase, that's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Everyone good? Okay, we'll continue. The next topic is good nutrition. And here, I want to dispel any secrets or misconceptions about good nutrition and give you simple and sensible choices that enable you to enjoy food and manage your weight over a lifetime. To put it plainly, what we eat becomes our body. Our body metabolizes or converts what we eat into energy and nutrients, and there's a direct link between what we put in our body and the condition of our body. Our brain weighs about 2% of our body mass, but it consumes roughly 25% of the oxygen and the nutrients that we intake. It's important to acknowledge right off the bat that it is very difficult for most people to lose weight and keep it off for a lifetime. The vast majority of diets are effective for just a short period of time because they limit our food intake to only certain items. This causes the body and the psyche to rebel. People react by binging. This creates the yo-yo effect, gaining a lot of weight, losing a lot of weight, and this is harmful to the body. The much better and longer lasting approach is to learn the simple rules of good nutrition and eat everything you like in moderation. This way you won't feel that you're depriving yourself of the foods you love, which is the downfall of every diet. In general, we don't need complicated guidelines to attain good nutrition. Keep it simple. Get most of your nutrients from vegetables, fruits, nuts, lean proteins such as poultry, fish, soya products. Stay away as much as possible from packed and processed foods. Nothing that comes in a pill or a powder is better than what is found in nature. Avoid refined or white sugar and white bread. Stay away from preservatives, chemical additives, and hydrogenated fats. And satisfy all your cravings in a responsible manner. These simple, sensible choices will ensure that you treat food not as something to be feared or avoided, but as a source of joy and clean energy for your body. It will also ensure that your weight never gets out of hand. When acquiring good nutrition habits, it helps to always have around your favorite fruits. Fruits are nature's dessert and are packed with nutrients. They are the equivalent of putting in high-octane gas in the tank of your car, as opposed to junk fuel with a pack of chips. And it's worth repeating once more, everything in moderation. The guiding principle is be informed and be good to yourself. If you crave chocolate, pizza, ice cream, red meat, or anything else, go ahead and satisfy that craving, knowing that afterwards you'll bounce back to the healthy framework of good nutrition habits. The next topic is inactivity. And here, I'll turn the attention to Guy, and he will discuss the importance of activity.
Thank you, Teresa. Great. And I would like us to start talking about the importance of activity by recalling that the human body is a well-designed machine for living, with built-in mechanisms for self-healing and self-correction, provided we don't harm it with bad habits. Our body needs exercise to help the bones, heart, and muscles function properly, but our modern sedentary lifestyles mean that people are less and less active as they spend more and more time in cars and in front of computers. Inactivity leads to being out of shape, which throws the immune system out of whack. Because the body is not in good condition, it is more susceptible to harm. And because of this poor shape, it cannot fight illnesses effectively. So it's not that healthy people don't get sick, but when they do, because the body operates the way it was designed, they bounce back into full health a lot quicker. And it's also good to remember that the brain is part of the body, as Teresa said. Activities that are good for the body also sharpen the brain. Physical exercise leads to the growth of nerve cells in the brain, which further boosts the immune system. Now again, let's get practical and demystify physical activity. No one expects us to become Olympic athletes. We're talking about simple and sensible activities that we can easily fit into our daily lives, such as walking half an hour several times a week. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator when it makes sense, not 35 floors. Riding a bicycle, getting up and stretching on the lunch break to generate better blood flow in the body, hiking on weekends, and simply arranging our daily routines to where we can be as active as possible. Many people make the unfortunate mistake of thinking of physical exercise as all or nothing. That is really self-defeating. A better approach is something is better than nothing. Small adjustments in everyday life can lead to a lifetime of wellness. So now that we discussed why activity is so important, let's discuss the importance of good rest. Without proper rest, the body and the mind cannot complete their natural cycles of cleansing, healing, and resetting, and can't function well if sufficient relaxation periods are not provided. Our body contains an internal clock of the circadian cycles, and these regulate, great idea, Willie, great idea. The circadian cycles regulate the basic rhythms of heart rate, blood pressure, digestion and elimination, and balanced energy levels. The greatest rest that we can undergo, of course, occurs during sleep. It is during sleep that the brain arranges the mental furniture it has accumulated through the day, gets rid of unnecessary debris, files away information in the subconscious for later use, and prepares itself for the following day. Now, when it comes to sleep, we are divided by the 4 levels of brainwave frequencies, and they are beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Beta state is right now, as you are sitting here and listening to me speak. It is our state of alertness during the day. It implies being alert, being able to concentrate at will, and to attend to our daily tasks. Alpha state occurs when we are in bed. It is the state between wakefulness and sleep. When we're in bed, relaxed, drowsy but still aware and conscious. It is the state that we experience before we transition into full sleep. Theta state is the state of the REM, sleep, that's where dreaming occurs, and it is also known for enhanced long-term memory, problem solving, and creativity. It is also where the body releases stress. And the deepest sleep that we undergo, pardon me, occurs during delta, which is known for releasing the human growth hormone, or HGH, where the body recovers its strength and boosts the immune system. That is why sleep is so critical when we recover from severe illness. How do we get more quality rest? Here are some ideas. Make your environment conducive to falling asleep, which means eliminate as much noise and light as possible. Make your room as dark as possible and try to eliminate external noise. Read a good book. This will help you to put the day's events behind you and naturally transition into sleep. Drink herbal, non-caffeinated tea, such as chamomile tea, Chamomile is known to help us fall asleep and to help your digestive system have your last meal at least 2 hours before bed. So again, as Teresa said, this 45-minute session is way too short to go into detail into all the necessary tools to live our longest and healthiest lives. However, after Lifespan Seminar received the Best of Beverly Hills Award last year for the 3rd year in a row, many of our Los Angeles clients asked us where they could find all of our products in one place. So we finally put together the complete guide to living your longest and healthiest life.